Hi everyone. I said on Miss Social Medias that I would do a little Q&A when I reached 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. Which I did. Like yesterday? Maybe? 2 days ago? Which, honestly, I know in the grand scheme of things 1,000 isn't a lot on, YouTube and various other platforms, but it's still 1,000 people. That's great. And I'm very grateful to all of you wonderful people who decided to click on the button. Because I don't post a lot on YouTube and I don't post very regularly at all. But yeah, I'm very grateful to those of you who decided to stick around and enjoy what I put up there. I will try and put more up when I have time. But yeah. So first I thought I'd do a little introduction, basically, because there are new people here and they probably just vaguely have seen other things. They've probably seen my Bones in the Ocean cover, let's be real. But yeah, hi, I'm Lucy. I'm a trumpet player. I also do a bit of singing. I have made an album of chiptune sea shanties, and various other weird and wacky things. I am a professional trumpet player as my occupation, but I'm just a general all-round musician who enjoys putting cool stuff out there. And I thought I'd celebrate this little milestone by just answering some questions that people have thrown my way. So question number 1 was, what has it been like carving out a career in mostly new music? And it's a great question. It's been really good. It's been fun. I'm a very curious person. I really like finding new ways to think about things, finding new ways to play, and obviously with new music you're constantly doing that. And the thing I really, really love about playing predominantly new music is the fact that I can talk to the people who are writing it. We can have a dialogue, I can talk to a composer and we can work out a cool sound, or I can actually get to the crux of what they're trying to do with a piece. And yeah, that's been really rewarding. And also I feel like within the kind of new music, contemporary music scene, this is contemporary classical music, if you want to put a label on it, but a lot of the people who are involved in that are just awesome people. They're people who don't necessarily fit in with the broad strokes of the music industry and the way that you feel like you have to fit in a box a lot of the time. So I've met some really, really cool people, and through that it's just adding fuel to the fire constantly of collaborating, coming up with new ideas, and it's been really, really great. And also it's pushed me technically as well. I'm always someone who's looking up for a challenge playing wise, and it's been really, really good for that. And yeah, I'm really, really enjoying it. It's very rewarding. And I am quietly optimistic about the future of new classical music, I hope. And yeah, I hope I can be a part of that. Question number 2. What quality about yourself do you most wish you'd see in others? Well, that's a hard question. Maybe, I don't know, lots of people have wonderful qualities about them, and I wouldn't necessarily say that I feel like there are any qualities in me that I feel like are better in any way. But I think maybe I'd like to see people take themselves a little bit less seriously, because I do not take myself seriously at all. I am the first person to crack a joke at my own expense. I'm the first person to laugh about something very silly. I'm the first person to put on a silly voice. And I think that's something, especially in the music industry, I think we are very, very quick to take ourselves very seriously because we have a serious art form, and obviously we spend years honing our craft, and we have spent years sort of going through failure after failure, and it can get very, very serious, and you can get very earnest about it, which is not necessarily a bad thing. But I think the ability to laugh at oneself and the ability to, I don't know, just laugh at the world, I think is something I'd like to see in more people, I think. Maybe that. Yeah. How much of your skill is natural versus practice? Ooh. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I think I was very lucky with when I started. So I started the trumpet when I was about maybe 8 or 9, I think. And I sort of put it on my face, and it kind of I just formed an embouchure, kind of, not automatically necessarily, but my face was kind of fine in terms of like teeth placement and lip shape and all of that stuff. I managed to get a decent sound to start with, and it felt natural. That was the thing. It didn't feel like I was forcing something. It felt like, oh, okay, this sits here and I make this noise. So I think to that extent, like, yes, some of it was natural, but I think that's the case with any instrument, really. If you sort of get a feel for it when you're young and you're just like, oh yeah, this feels natural, this feels normal, then you kind of go from there. Also, I've always been I've been very musical. I've always been a sort of a natural musician. There's photos of me when I was like 3 attempting to play the piano or conduct an invisible orchestra. So I think a lot of that was I mean, it's nurture. It's not necessarily just nature versus nurture. It's the things I was around as well. But a lot of it is practice. I mean, practice is that we've got this really, I think, harmful idea of talent. The world over, we have this idea of if you have a natural talent, that can take you far. Yeah, it can take you a little way, but you have to put in the work. You have to understand how to practice. You have to understand that you do need to sit in a room often and drill bits of a piece that you can't get right. So I think that is something we need to, and we are getting better, I think, in the music industry about talking about the fact that you do need to practice and you do need to work really, really hard, even if you're talented. Like, talent and practice aren't necessarily mutually exclusive things. So I think a lot of my skill is definitely down to hard work, down to sitting in a practice room and playing the same bar 300 times over. Favorite art medium that isn't music? Ooh, that's tough. I like all the arts, really. I mean, I love art, as in, paintings and sculpture and things. I absolutely love that. I think I'm just gonna have to go with literature. I am an avid reader. I have been since I was young. I'm a very fast reader as well. Like, I can finish a book a decent size within a day if I set my mind to it. And I love the written word and the spoken word as well. Just words are great. So yeah, I think probably literature. If you could be a sock, would you be a left or right sock? So for those of you who don't know, I have a far too large collection of socks. People buy me socks, I buy myself socks, and I don't have a single pair of plain white socks. I like fun socks, I like silly socks, and I have many of them. Possibly too many. Definitely too many. So yeah, I have fun socks. If I could be a left or right sock. Problem is, I'm really picky. I don't like mismatching socks. So my friends and family members have on occasion bought me deliberately mismatching socks just to wind me up. So I can't pick a foot. I'm just gonna go left. Why not? Who inspires you? Ooh, so many people. Yeah, so many people. I think anyone who's, well, not necessarily performing, anyone who's creating art with a really distinctive voice, which can be with so many people, just anyone who's trying to push the boundaries of what's possible and push the idea of art and how it's framed. Definitely anyone who does that inspires me. I think when I was a student, there were, still are musicians who inspire me. People like Joanna McGregor, lots of various trumpet players, Marco Blau, singers, Gerald Finley inspires me, Sarah Connolly, so many people, so many musicians. And then there are so many writers, people like Mary Shelley, people like Catherine Mansfield, all of these people who are trying to carve out their own path, and are incredibly good at what they do, but have this soul and passion. I think that's something that I've come to realise. People who really, really love what they do, and that's obvious, and have a distinctive voice, whether that be artistic voice or literal voice. Just, any of those people. What trumpet pieces are underappreciated? Ooh, any of the new ones, I think. I don't know, actually. A lot of the new pieces that have been written in the last, say, 10 years and are being written now, I think are being appreciated. But I think just in general, trumpet repertoire is something that is... We've got another golden age at the moment of composers writing for us. There's plenty of incredible Baroque stuff as well, and then everything in the middle is just a bit sort of meh, in my opinion at least, because a lot of it's sort of French repertoire that was written for like competitions and stuff. So for me at least, it doesn't necessarily feel like there's too much kind of heart and soul in it. What trumpet pieces are underappreciated? Harry James Trumpet Concerto. There you go. That's it. That's one that I absolutely adore, and you don't hear that many people play, and it's so much fun. So much fun. I think also Maxwell Davies, just anything that Maxwell Davies has written for trumpet needs to be played more. It's astonishing. He has an incredible way of writing for trumpet. Just anything that isn't the Haydn and the Hummel. Sorry. What are you reading right now? What am I reading right now? I am reading this. Buried by Professor Alice Roberts. It's really good. It's the second in a series of books about basically funerary practices and burial practices from kind of the Paleolithic, Neolithic times onwards. I think her latest one is called Crypt and has just been brought out. I'm not sure. But this one is kind of dealing with like Roman Britain. But I am a massive nerd when it comes to prehistory. I'm fascinated by old stuff, like really old stuff. Give me a stone circle any day. So it's really, really interesting. And she writes very, very well. Very, very readable. So that's what I'm reading for like my own personal reading at the moment. But shameless plug, my partner Sam and I, we do a reading stream over on Twitch. I'll put like links and stuff down in the description. And we read classic fiction. So I'm currently reading over on there Pride and Prejudice, because I read it when I was a teenager. And being a teenager, I was like, oh, nothing happens in this. This is boring. And then put it away and didn't want to read it again. And I have since matured. And everybody keeps on telling me to read Jane Austen again, so I was like, all right, I'll read Jane Austen again. And she's great, turns out. Surprise, surprise. Wonder why she's so famous. So yeah, reading Pride and Prejudice at the moment and thoroughly enjoying it. It's good. And I think that'll do for questions, I think. I don't think there were any others. I'm not sure. If any people watching have any more questions for me, feel free to sound off in the comments, ask me random stuff, and I will answer it, probably, maybe. Depends. But, I'll hopefully be posting a bit more on YouTube, fingers crossed, soon. My life has got a little bit busy. I've been zipping and zapping around places. But yeah, it's been nice to just kind of sit down and do a little chatty video like this. I haven't done one of these in a while. And I'm genuinely baffled that 1,000 of you want to watch my stuff. So yeah, thank you all very much. And I guess I'll see you on the next one. Bye.